Hello, everybody. It is list time. It is list time. It is list time. We are here to do another list for list time. And what's our list this week, Travis?
Our ranking of each deck building requirement.
Yes. We haven't done a video like this in a while where we each give it a score out of 10 and then add the totals together and we find what the PBG official ranking is. If you don't know what a deck building requirement is either, well, you might have had a hard time building your investigator decks, but they are basically the stipulations that your investigator needs to follow. We didn't include Lola. I realized that after. I could have included her, but we didn't. So there's no Lola on this list. Or Charlie Kane, yeah. But
Charlie
we do
Kane
have...
doesn't count.
Charlie Kane would have been perfect score. So
his is a very cool deck building style. Like, admittedly, it is a really cool deck building.
Okay, well, it would have
been close. But I wouldn't think it
so we'll go through also, we'll give our individual scores, well, Travis will as we get to them, and then what the total is. So what's the first total of our first one out of 30?
We're going from the bottom up, right?
Yeah, so...
6.5.
6.5 out of 30 collectively between the three of us. And that is 0-5 main class. So I'm not including neutrals in any of the breakdowns here because like everyone can play neutral cards. But this is like the Nathaniel Cho, the Winifred Habemucks, the Jacqueline Fines, who just play their color.
Yeah, there's literally only two more of them.
Yeah.
So you might as well just say the other two.
Harvey Walters and Stella Clark.
Thank you.
The other two.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And there will never probably hopefully be another one in this deck building style.
No, I kind of do hope that if they do another starter deck, they just use like the same investigators but like with a different deck.
Oh yeah,
something like that.
That's actually a pretty smart idea.
I don't think that we really need more guys who are like, I can play green cards.
Yeah, no, that's
actually
actually...
else, really.
I have never heard anyone suggest that, but I think that's a great way of going about it.
Yeah.
Just give them different art even, and
like card gets alt art.
Yeah.
Maybe you even get like some...
give them replacements, different, like work those. Like they could look at the Stella problem and be like, here's Stella version 2. That's a great idea. Wow.
Yeah. Feel free to steal it, Fantasy Flight.
Please.
But yeah, this one's...
Actually, yeah, go. Do it.
This one's just kind of boring. It's not a great time. Because even as when we were doing recording today, Travis and I recorded a limited deck building video, you kind of just like build their starter deck a lot of the time.
Yeah,
pretty close.
Like...
That's why I give him a 1, Justin, you give him a 3, and bring him a 2.5. This was the lowest for both Justin and I. I gave him the reason I got a 1 for me instead of like a slightly higher score is because they have to either have extremely like niche, like very siloed design like Nathaniel Cho does, or they have to be like too good to kind of make up for them having a lack of card pool options like Jacqueline and Stella.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah. I think this is actually probably not the worst one that I've given.
It wasn't.
Strangely, but...
It was not, friend.
Yeah, for me, this one is just like the deck building itself is boring because you are kind of just showing up and you're like, what does my investigator card do?
Yeah, that.
Good. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is fine. It's not a bad place to be, and they are all kind of fun to play.
Yeah, and it's also I would say also important to the game that these exist for like especially new players. Like it could just be like, here is Harvey. Go. Here's Jacqueline, help us win, right? Here's Stella, you have 3 of these, go nuts.
Just don't want too many of them.
Yeah.
Right, like here's Stella, failing doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Or like, here's Harvey, you are going to book V-Shroud every turn that you can, and it will have a result. Yeah.
You will eventually win more than you lose. Yeah, definitely, that's true.
Yeah, it's not bad to have more simplistic cards in the game too.
Yeah,
I just don't like them personally.
Yeah, totally fair. All right, number 7. What was the score for number 7?
Doubled the last one. We got 13
Holy
30.
Cow, 13. It doubled it. All right, we have trait 0 to X, main class 0 to 3, 5 other, level 0 class cards. As far as I'm aware, this exists only on Finn and Marie Lambeau. Yeah.
Yep.
For me, a big problem I have with this one is that the trait basically exists in their color. So they're kind of just main class 0-5, but you accidentally play all in
Yeah.
or like Daredevil, whatever it was.
It was
and
all
then,
in.
yeah, and then just like be like whoopsie.
Yeah.
Like the
Because-
only time I played Green Investigator.
Yeah, because it feels like you should be able to. What I do like about it though is anytime that you get like a splash between like some classes, you can do some fun stuff with that. Like Finn has a lot of different builds you can go. Dark Horse is really fun, but it's not exactly an exciting build style for me.
Justin and I each gave this a 6 and Bryn gave it a 1. I'll let him speak on it in a second. He can tell us why it's awful. But so like I gave it a 6 because I like the deck building idea, but I just don't like the investigators who currently have it.
That's fair. Yeah.
I think it could be cool, but it just like isn't great right now.
Yeah, I don't like this one because I think it reads too much like a custom investigator card. Looking at you, astute Dunsparce.
Brandon, yeah, you give it another one, an extremely high score.
That is true.
Yeah, but that one's
Curious,
so cool.
Bryn.
Yeah, that is
That
true.
one's so cool. Because it has no rules at all.
There are rules, bro.
No, there are no
There's
rules.
so many of them, man.
Yeah, Bryn likes it when his rules aren't like a lot of rules. It's just like rules, but like with a twist.
No. Yeah, a lot of what I don't like about this one is that the ones that exist, they're just like, do you want to play purple cards? Okay, only some of them though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only some of them. And that's not my favorite.
All right. Yeah. What is the score for number 6?
It is 16.
16. Dunnage! 0-5 main and then 5 splash cards. Travis, why don't you go for this one first? And what do we all give it?
I gave it a 6, Justin gave it a 7, and Bryn gave it a 3. So yeah, overall, I think this one's, like, neat. There are some things, like, considering I went from, like, a 1 to a 6 for this one, just by adding those 5 splash cards, I think it's pretty neat.
Yeah, yeah.
The only real complaint I have about these deck building restrictions is that it showed up, like, early in the game, so some of the investigators aren't quite on par with some of the later ones.
What do you mean? You couldn't. We can't trash Jim 2 weeks in a row, can we?
Dude, Jim
No, I'm
Culver
talking about
sucks.
how boring Jenny is, though.
Yeah, Jenny's a little bit
We didn't
boring.
talk about her last week.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like the investigators suffer a little bit from that, but the deck building itself, I think, is pretty neat. There's some nice things you can do with it, like where you're just building a deck and then you get to kind of pick what flavoring or what accent you have for it. So
Yeah, Travis is right. Rex Murphy is not a very good investigator because he was printed in the early stages of the game. I agree with that point
he
completely.
is a very good investigator because he's printed at the early stages of the game.
Oh, what about you, Brandon? You gave this a 3?
I don't like this one because sometimes you have to teach people how the game works. And they're like, I want to play the guy with the dog. And you're like, son of a bitch. Okay, so you get to play with red cards. Any red cards in the game. You get to play with neutral cards, and then you get to play with any 5 other cards. And they're like, I'll just play with the red cards. And you're like, no, you won't. I'm going to hurt you.
No.
Like, you're going to pick cards from a different color. I don't...
Yeah, like, look, here's just, it's inspiring presence.
Yeah.
Just take it and
Yeah,
go,
right?
right?
Yeah.
I don't even
Even
think
just
too
like
hard.
this is like a handful of purple cards. Let's pretend that you get to play 5 level 0 purple cards,
Yeah. But you're going to play some non-red cards.
but you're gonna play them.
Yeah.
And it's just like a little bit of decision paralysis. I
Oh,
find
yeah,
for like
definitely.
teaching new people.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like it. Like it's it's a very powerful deck building option because you can do anything you want pretty much. You just might not be able to do some things as well. Like don't build a Rex Murphy deck to try to fight. There's no point. Why would you do that?
Yeah, it could be a Mandy deck
Yeah.
instead.
It could be a Jenny deck and you'd be in better shape.
No?
No, incorrect. You get to play with green cards that are designed to be able to fight with 3 punch. She has 3 punch.
Play with yellow cards that are designed to fight with, like, it doesn't matter your punches because you get 6.
That do be true.
Play with
Or,
yellow
like, you could
cards
do
that do
damage.
damage without ever making attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, for, like, the low cost of drawing cards,
Oh,
or, like,
no.
for discarding
Yeah.
cards, or
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
playing this book.
Yeah. I like I said in the previous one, I really like the splash. Splash provides a lot of excitement. It's not exactly the most exciting because when you get to the upgrades, you're kind of like, man, I hope I had as much fun with those 5 splash cards to last me the whole campaign because now I'm just a monocolored investigator, which is a little bit of a shame. But that's what Versatile's for, right, Travis? To get that rush again, that dopamine rush of level 0 done its deck building.
Yeah, sure, man.
But no, it's not the best, but it's an enjoyable one for me. All right, number 5.
This came in with a 17. This was Edge of the Earth.
Yeah, Edge of the
Yeah.
Earth. So main class, 0 main class, level 1 to 5 secondary class with a level 0 splash.
5 cards.
Yeah.
I gave this a 7, and both of you gave this a 5, which is like, that's pretty fair. It's pretty medium deck building in general.
Yeah, what'd you give it a 7? What bumped it over for you?
I just think it's neat.
Yeah, that's fair. Hell yeah, man. We need more of that in life. Just, I think it's neat. Yeah. Bryn, you said something
I just think
before.
about it, my brain is like,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
I get, yeah, that's even when I was looking at the donuts, I was like 7 seems a bit high, but then I think about it more and I'm like, no, I think it's neat. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
So Bryn, what about you for Edge of the Earth?
Oh, I hate building the initial deck. Scenario 1 always feels like trash. Because my deck doesn't do any of the things that my cards want to do. Because my cards don't want to do the main class thing. They want to do the secondary class thing. Like, the investigators who have this, pretty much all of them do.
Except for Norm. He can go pretty good.
Yeah,
isn't he?
well, I mean, you know.
I mean, level 0 Seeker is just so good.
It really is.
Yeah.
I spent most of the campaign trying to kill Justin and
true.
like testing Book v Shroud as Norman, and it kind of just like worked almost all the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
No, I do like how these like this deck building requirement kind of tells a story about the character. Where,
Yes,
like
that
they
is
start
really
out
cool.
as something, and over the course of the campaign become something else.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I even though I said I think it was last week that I don't want to revisit this, I wouldn't be upset if they did, right? Because I feel like I don't want them to do it like again after that, right? But like
I wouldn't mind getting like a different cycle of them.
yes.
Especially if we got like just kind of normal-ish cards and less multicolor cards. Maybe a couple multicolor cards, but like not as
Yes.
the main theme
Yeah.
of the expansion.
I would like to see a Michael McGlynn who starts out with Rogue 0
Yeah.
and then builds into Guardian.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be nice.
I think that would be cool.
It'd be so funny if the reason they like, because like, you know, we haven't seen Carson's back of us yet. He just had Edge of the Earth deck building. That'd be so funny.
Like what though?
Cause just to balance out with the 2s and everything, and everyone's like seeing like he's got to have good deck building. It's just like Edge of the Earth, baby.
He's just gonna get to add 5 XP into his deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he's gonna have.
Guardian 0 to 5 bonus XP.
No guns.
My biggest
Okay,
pet
see.
peeve with the Edge of the Earth deck building is that it has happened to myself, it has happened to you two, it has happened to pretty much every one of my users at least once when I'm making a deck online. They suggest a card in their starting color that they can't play because it's experienced. It happens to everybody at least once with
Yep.
this class. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it does. You're like, this guy's a red investigator. He can play this card. It's a red card. Like,
Nope.
No.
there is no level 0 option for that.
Yeah, they should have just made the back of the card green, so when you look at it, you're
Yeah,
like, oh.
that would have been cool.
That would have been really nice actually.
All right, let's go to number 4.
This one is with an 18. The Dunwich, the Edge of the Earth, and these Dream Eaters ones, as we coined them, all
Yeah, so
came in pretty even.
this is 0x main class, and then 10 levels 0 to 1 event skills of your secondary class. So this is Mandy, Tony, and Gloria that
Yeah,
exist
so
currently
far.
in the game.
Yeah, I gave this one a 6, Justin gave it a 7, and Bryn gave it a 5.
Let's go from bottom up.
Why do you
Oh.
hate this?
Well, no, it's equal hate and love,
Yeah,
right? That's
yeah,
what it
so
was.
like 5 is, yeah.
No, I'm trying to...
Get conflict going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't hate this
I
one.
put words
I
in
just
mouth.
like,
That's fair.
what I dislike about this is that you're presented with the illusion of a choice.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, if you don't play the one we want you to play, your guy sucks. Like, oh, that's sweet. You're telling me that I can play Tony with any one of 3 different colors, but if I don't play blue, I'm stupid?
That is actually like, because I remember that
Kinda.
one time when
Kinda.
you built the expanded guide decks.
This one
And-
was like, why is there red in my
Yeah.
tiny deck?
Yeah. Right, like it is,
I'm like, I know, man.
I appreciate the choices that this theoretically affords.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't like is that choice is like right or wrong. That's pretty much what you're
Mm-hmm.
facing, right? Like you can play a red Tony deck and it's not terrible, but it will likely be worse than if you were playing blue for Vicious Blow and prepared for the worst.
His third color is yellow, right?
His third
Yeah.
color is in fact yellow, which is great to go with his 3 book. Yes.
No, like I will build off of what Brent said and say that like they do feel like there's like an obvious option and then there's kind of like a dark horse option, not literally dark horse, but
No,
like,
it's literally dark horse. Yeah.
and then there's like just the other option because they decided they were doing 3 for each one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it is very much a right or wrong choice, I find. Which
That's
is
fair. No, that's very fair.
It's the part I dislike.
Why'd you give us a 7, Justin?
Versatility. You know, I like that. Even though I do agree completely, there is like a correct choice.
Yeah.
Especially for Tony, I think Mandy can kind of make most of them work. Even though like green is still probably the best choice, right? Because you can just break the game.
Like if you're playing Tabooed, like you could just build a Mandy. I mean, you don't have to play Tabooed. You just build a Mandy deck that's all yellow cards, and it'll be fine.
Yeah. It's Gloria's also you can like. There's different routes you can take with that one that I think are all good. Yeah. I just like anything that gives you like the ability that one Gloria deck or one Tony deck, one Mandy deck can be different than the other because Tony's kind of all just become the same thing. You got to run blue. It's just a good time for me.
I mean, like I don't think that like they're that different though, because quite often you only get events and skills. Quite often the assets are sort of defined on what your deck's doing because they stay in play, they have a larger impact. Whereas you're just basically picking events and skills that support what the investigator says on the front, right? When you're playing Tony, you don't pick yellow investigating skills. You would be picking like either yellow economy options or like yellow ways to dig through your deck for your weapons.
I do think with Gloria it is different enough because you can have like the Gloria that defends or the Gloria that runs away.
Yeah, no, I do think Gloria has like the most
success with that.
Yeah, like Tony, I think that blue is like the correct choice.
Yeah.
Gloria, like each of the deck buildings have like their own sort of niche, and then Mandy, I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
5 book and yellow 0 to 5.
Yeah. Like
just go.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter after that.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, it's not like fine, but not great.
Yeah. All right, we're going to our top 3 with a score of
23.
23. It is whatever the hell Carolyn has. Which is 0-3 main class, cards that heal horror 0-5, up to 15 other Seeker Mystic cards 0-1.
So Justin gave this one a 4. I gave it a 9 and Brent gave it a 10. Justin, why don't you like Carolyn?
I just think it kind of sucks. Like, it's just so excessive.
You did also miss that she's not allowed to play level 0 firearms.
Oh, sorry, my mistake.
She's not allowed to play higher level.
Can play level 0
she can play level 0 weapons, but not higher level.
That's so funny.
Weapons.
But I think, like, ultimately, it's a very wide deck building thing, right? Because now every card that comes out that heals horror, Carolyn can be. I think that like more text-based investigators is good, but it's not my personal favorite.
It is a pain for like actually deck building, but it's very fun to deck build with.
Yeah.
If you have the time and the patience to sit down and like actually do it.
Yeah, definitely. I think like especially like if you're building it like with Arkham DB, it's a lot easier. Because it's not.
No, Arkham DB is broken for a bunch of Carolyn stuff.
So sick. So
you try to put like Deny Existence 5 in your deck and they're like, nah, man.
You can't do that.
Then they heal horror and you're like,
oh, but like it can.
At least then, okay, then I'll amend that statement. At least the search function of quote heal horror will help you build your deck.
Yeah, like their search function, where you know how you can like look up for cards that investigator can play, does not work.
Great, that's so funny.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, but no, it's just there's a lot because I love it. It's like all this stuff, and then fuck it, just throw in 15 Seeker or Mystic cards for fun. Why not?
My favorite part about how it's like Bryn was like, this feels like a custom investigator card, and then he's like, Carolyn's got 10 out of 10, baby. The best.
Yeah. Anyway, Stu Dunsparce, if you're watching this, you're probably like, Bryn, what the hell, man? And anybody else who's watching this is probably like, Bryn, you're a giant fucking hypocrite.
Bryn's like, Janus, the god of doorways, like the 2 faces? Yeah. That's Bryn with with custom content. Or so funny.
This part of what I like about this one is that it only exists on one investigator. He said, not looking at Vincent Lee and never choosing to.
Yeah.
And also, this one is, again, if you're playing with new players and they're like, I want to play the pretty lady with red hair.
Or the cat drawing.
Or the cat drawing, and you're like, no, you do not. You do not want to play that.
Oh,
I like cats.
You have like an hour and a half to build this deck.
Yeah, like, pick the trees, play with the other cats instead. You'll have a better time. You're absolutely correct. I am being like a giant hypocrite here.
But you're right.
But that's the best. That's the best part about creating content, right?
Yeah, I have
What
definitely.
can they do about it?
That's like when we made the video. I was 10 cards I'd never play, and then I played all of them within the next month.
That's good. That's good.
We do what we want on this channel. Those are the rules.
I do like the massive amount of choice that this brings. It is something that I personally enjoy about card games.
Yeah.
What I don't like about it, compared to like the Dunwich investigators, is that the Dunwich investigators don't really get to pick anything that matters. Carolyn can pick all kinds of stuff that does whatever you want to do, man.
Yeah.
You can make your deck do whatever you'd like.
And exchange your characters like kind of
Yeah, and exchange your character has like one less total skill point.
Yeah, and your ability is like pretty niche.
Yeah.
But she is still a very
Yeah.
powerful character.
She is.
Yeah.
She's quite powerful.
And
She's
it's
very
because
fun
of
to play.
this too. Yeah.
And like compared with the Finn deck building, again, like you get to play all kinds of things out of color.
Yeah, definitely.
And
It doesn't
get
just
to
feel
just
like
make more choices.
yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna say Astute Dunsparce one more time before I don't mention him again.
I do think though that this is why the rating system is so good, us ranking it together, because I think this is a perfect spot for it. Yeah, if this was like our number one, we'd have like a
Riot.
yeah. All right, let's go to number 2. What does number 2 have out of 30?
24.
So only 1 point ahead of the other one. We have 0x main class, 0x traits.
Yeah, this is a neat one. So Silas has this. Amanda has this.
Rita has this.
Yeah.
Mark has this. A bunch more. Calvin has this. A lot of them have it. Father Mateo has it for Blessed.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I really like this deck building for like, sorry, our individual scores. Brandon and I gave us a 7. This is Justin's favorite with a 10. This gives you like a lot of really nice deck building options and makes the traits on the cards actually matter.
Yeah.
It's a big part of that.
Yeah.
And it's a nice way of like tying in a limited amount of effects, but like a large variety of effects into a given investigator.
Yeah, what I really like about it is that each time it allows for a lot of cards that fit with an investigator to show up in colors that aren't theirs, and then leads to new exciting things, and it allows for the designers as well to also implement support for characters who might not have it, like Rita getting Sweeping Kick, right? Like Sweeping Kick is such a good success for the game, and I think it really shows why this deck building style is really engaging to me, because now everyone's like, they see a trick and they're like, Rita, right? Like, you know, it's like exciting.
Yeah.
But like,
I don't do that.
and then also, you're not
I've
included.
never seen anyone do that. but
I've seen you do that.
No,
Practiced.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it on camera.
But also as well, like Silas with innate, like I see an innate skill and I go, yeah, this is cool. I see with Amanda in practice, like not only just practice makes perfect. Like you said, it's just it makes traits matters, but it also allows, like you expect with the number one, you know what's going to happen. Like a yellow card comes out. Rex is going to play it until the end of time, right? If it's good.
Yep.
But like with this one now, it's like, what the frick? This is a trick in purple. Can this do anything in Rita? And it just makes it a little bit more engaging as well for the card pool.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would have rated this a 10 if it were only Mark. Because he's perfect.
He is perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rita really drags the,
Yeah.
the rating down.
Yeah, I mean, like, also, you got that one lady with the 2s.
Amanda?
Yeah, she gets to play, like, practice skills.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. Why would I want to play with 2s? When I could
Not
play with 1s or 0s.
It's true. 1s or 0s, baby.
Let's go.
All right. And then should we, number 1, you should all know what's coming. What was our score for this?
27.75. Bryn.
0.5 main class, 0.2 secondary.
Yeah, Bryn gave us an 8.75 as he's wont to do. Justin gave it a 9. I gave it a 10.
Yeah.
Look,
It's just good, man.
Yeah,
you can't give me the option to rate things with non-whole numbers.
it's true.
I didn't want you to.
Yeah, not only did not only did not want you to, you told him the thing, he wrote it down, and he said, don't worry about it, just give it this. And then Travis said, but I already wrote it down.
Yeah.
Bryn's just like a master at just like twisting the gears. Just like That's, yeah. But yeah, no, it's just good. Like, it's just a good deck building.
Yeah.
They nailed it.
It's nice and simple. It's effective. It's like what a lot of the levels in the game are designed around.
Yep.
They all feel different.
Yes. Yep.
Like, massively different.
You don't have to like have really siloed design for your investigators or like overly strong because the card pool is like pretty good, and then you can give them like a more generic or slightly specialized ability, like, you know, hey, you should probably play with these cards, but also you could play with all these other cards if you want to.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just good. Like, there's not much to say.
It's just there's a reason these were the core set guys.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It just like it makes like different level 0-5 like yellow or red investigators feel like notably different from
Like
each other.
massively different, yeah.
Not just because their cards say different things, but because like the pool is so drastically different.
Yep.
Yeah, it's even with like the likes of, because if you add Survivor into this pool, especially in the early days, the 0-2 Survivor wasn't like that like different than 0-5 Survivor.
Yeah.
But even then, you look at Wendy and then you look at Preston, and like even though people think it's gonna be very similar, Min and Daryl, they're also gonna play very differently as well. They're both supports, but they're gonna do it in very different ways. But pretty much very similar card pool for the ones that they do kind of bleed over.
It's kind of perfect, like mint chocolate chip ice cream, you know.
Hell yeah.
Like we got our mint flavor, that's the dominant flavor. It's the 0-5, and then chocolate chips.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But, yeah.
Man, next video we should just all like just like a chocolate chip cone. That'd be a good long con, especially because the next video we record, I don't even know when it's gonna come out.
2 months later.
Yeah. And it was like, why the fuck are you eating ice cream? And we're like, it was a callback, okay?
Really, you don't watch every single video we put out.
Yeah. All right. Huge thank you to everyone who watched this video as well. If you're watching, let us know what your favorite deck building requirements are. And if you want to see us doing any of these collective shared lists, please let us know in the comments. I forgot how enjoyable they are to do. So thanks for watching. Have a good one. And as always, GG's.